ask my wife any questions ever. About anything. You want a long marriage? Leave your wife alone. She's had it. You asked her out on a first date. You asked her to marry you. From her perspective, these are the only two really interesting things you've ever said. No one in your house thinks you've got more where that came from. If I see something in my house that was not there before, anything, item of furniture, object, I do not ask. Where did that thing come from? Because what is the difference where it came from? It's here now. Things go from one place to other places. This is the place where this thing now is, and that concludes this briefing. If at some future point I see that that item is no longer there, I do not ask. Where did that thing go? Not here is where it went. Gone is its new location. I'm glad I'm still there to tell you the truth. Because I see a lot of stuff moving in and out all day long. If my wife says something, this happens all the time, husbands. Your wife says something, you didn't quite hear it. I do not say, what? I don't. If you didn't catch it, it's over. Forget it. Keep going. Just keep going. Figure it out from the context or the looks on the faces of the other people in the room. It doesn't matter what it was. Wives do not want to backtrack or rewind. And don't make them, they want to go forward at all times. It's a wives are sharks. They just have to keep moving at all times. Hunt, attack, reproduce, take care of kids. That's it. Wives are sharks. Husbands are dolphins. Jumping out of the water, spinning around, making a giant splash. His wife is, what is the reason for that? I just want to see if I can do it. Dolphins love performing idiotic behaviors to entertain humans. Sharks do not. Not one shark has ever performed at SeaWorld. Not one. You know they must have tried to get them. Oh, perform? Oh, sure, I can perform. How about I take a huge jagged bite out of your stupid ass? Let's put that. You got two butt cheeks, I'll do an early show and a late show. Well, Jerry, wait a minute. I don't know if I buy this. You don't ask your wife anything. How do you know what's going on around the house? I know what's going on around the house because I listen in when my wife is on the phone talking to other people. I don't know who she talks to, I swear. But she tells them everything. So if I'm in one room and I hear her on the phone in another room, I'm like a deer in the woods that was drinking from a stream. But then suddenly hears the snap of a twig. Alerting me to something in my area. That's how I find out everything. Who's coming over? Places I might be going. What kind of a mood I've been in the past 3 days. head is a vast open prairie extending endlessly to the horizon. Sometimes a lonely tumbleweed rolls by. I think that was something she wanted me to pick up on the way home. What the hell was it? They say knowledge is power. Not in my marriage. I don't want to know anything. Where we're going, why we're going. Don't tell me anything. Husbands make as much sense to tell me as it would be to tell the dog what the plans are for his day. He doesn't care. He doesn't need to know. He finds out when he's doing it, just like me. Dogs and husbands both understand. Just be ready to go out. When you hear the keys, on your feet, we're moving. I do not have arguments with my wife. I do not think things that conflict with what my wife thinks. This is not for everyone. I am advanced. My head, my brain, my skull, all of this is, at this point in my marriage, is merely ornamental. That is the only reason it's still there. I don't need it for anything. The Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz dreamed of having a brain. He could have just gotten married and skipped the house. A head full of straw and a wife is a pretty solid start on a successful marriage. Problems I have had in my marriage. Biggest problem, couples dinners. Never was good at this. Because I'm a comedian my whole life, alone. Comedians are very lone people. We like to be alone. Couples dinner to me is like the yard in prison. You're still in prison, but you have been let out a little, and you get to fraternize with some of the other inmates. Always being careful never to disrespect your gang affiliation, which is your spouse. Do not bring up things at the table you think are amusing about gas, snoring, limps, or moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. The scariest part of couples dinner is when you get back in the car afterwards where you will receive a performance review. Dinner can become very unboring in this moment. When you find yourself in conversations like, why were you kicking me under the table? Well, it wasn't so you could say out loud to everyone, why are you kicking me under the table? So if you're considering marriage, it's a pretty good job and you do get paid. There are 3 forms of compensation: cash, sex, and babies. Whichever you get the most of, you will get a lot less of the other 2. No cash, no babies, you get sex. No cash, no sex, babies. If all they have is cash, just take the cash. The hell with what you had to give up. Be careful, cash gets people frisky, leads to baby, sucks up the cash, you're right back where you started looking for a job. But it's a beautiful thing. And I think men secretly love being married even more than women. I think men sacrifice more for marriage than women. Where are you going with this, Jerry? Let's see. For a woman to get a man to marry her, she has to pretend to be someone she is not for 2 to 4 years of her life. It is exhausting, it is difficult, it is somewhat dishonest. But it has been a fabulous system for thousands of years. I have no issue with it. You ladies do whatever the hell you have to do. Hopefully the charade works, the wedding takes place, the curtain comes down, and the show is over. In the second act of the play, the curtain comes back up. The husband now comes out on stage and pretends to be someone he is not for decade after decade after decade. No intermission! No break. The only rest we get is in the bathroom, and that's why we're in there so long. Memorizing these idiotic lines we have to say, like, no, I don't care about missing the game. This tastes great. Love what you're wearing. Let's see more musicals and renew our vows. Oh, women just want to get married. That's the cliche that we all hear. Is that true? Who's asking? Who's on one knee? Who begs? Begging, please. Take this perfect single life that I have finally got exactly the way I want and destroy it. I've never been happier. I can't take it another second. The ring, the diamond, the hardest substance known to man. That's how hard I want my life to be. That's what this represents. Let me use jewelry stores. This is a very rare stone, Mr. Seinfeld. You can't find this. I just did. I was trying not to find it. Jewelry stores and funeral homes are basically the same business. We sell weird, ornate nonsense to people that are in such an emotional, mental tailspin from planning a burial or wedding. When they hear the prices, they don't go, "What did you say?" And they are both convinced in that moment that the person they are buying it for is incredibly special. To which I would say, maybe. Maybe they are. Or maybe it's when you're at the wedding and the vow is till death do us part that you realize I'm getting nailed on both ends of this thing. So whether you're getting engaged or embalmed, bereaved or betrothed, picking out headstones or gemstones, you're going to end up a loser in a limo that just got a beat down in a box. Divorce, I don't really get it. You want to be with a different crazy person? Fine, go ahead. I don't know who you're married to. Whoever it is, I'll tell you this, that's about the best we got. Are you a little disappointed? Wish it was better? Of course you will. They wish you were better too. That's why weddings are so expensive. We're trying to make it seem, for at least this one day, that we've got a couple of winners here. Not the rescue pet adoption we all, of course, know about. The person you were handed that day was a lost and confused terrier mix with no papers. They were so cute. How could you resist them? If you're sitting with so you brought them into your life. You looked after them. If it were not for you, they probably would have been put down a long time. If you're sitting with your husband or wife here tonight, do not look over at them during this next part. Because each one of you thinks I'm talking about the other. Which is what we want them to think. Marriage works when each person believes they are the one keeping this insane, ridiculous mess together. Which is what you are doing. Not the person next to you, who I would like to speak with now very briefly for a moment, if I may. Okay, obviously you are the only actual functioning member of the team. I was talking to your partner like that, so they feel they have some purpose and value. Even though you and I know if they walked out the door tomorrow, things would only run smoothly. You wouldn't have to help them figure out, find my iPhone as they're holding the phone in their hand. Or missing a turn that Waze has been telling you for 2 miles where to turn. 0.1 miles, 100 feet, and there it was. I guess we're not going there anymore. None of that matters. You are doing a great job with your rescue pet. marching around the house going, I've got a lot to do today. Yes, you do. And I can't wait for dinner to hear what a disaster it all is. And when I see beautiful couples like I do here at the Aeronaut in Cincinnati, Ohio, on Saturday night between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I see you all out there. I always hope you know, as a married couple, you're at the highest level of marriage right now. You're the little plastic bride and groom on the top of the wedding cake. That's why they put them at the top. That is the goal of marriage. Just stand next to each other in dress shoes on slippery buttercream and somehow keeping it together while friends and family are slicing pieces out from underneath them. Thank you, Cincinnati. Hope you had fun tonight.